is just unfortunate. A young man who they said have lived in Europe for nearly 11 years decided to visit his family, his hometown in Agbo of Delta State in January of 2026, has now been reported dead after his body was discovered floating in an abandoned borough pit. From what we know, the young man's name is Lawrence, and he goes by the name of Maca Boy on TikTok. It was said that Lawrence had lived in Europe, Italy to be precise, and for nearly 11 years he hadn't come back home. However, in January of 2026, he came back home to meet his people, and while he was in Agbo, he suddenly went missing towards the end of January. They said that his family and friends were looking for him until somewhere on the 4th of February when a body was discovered floating in an abandoned borough pit in the community. At first, they did not know who it was. People just spotted a dead body and decided to know what had happened. By the time the body was recovered, that was when his loved ones recognized it to be him. He was immediately taken to the mortuary and the investigation of how he got there began. At first, people assumed he may have fallen. Some people said he was pushed and thrown there. And at the time of making this video, it's still not clear how he got there. However, a specific theory and a specific story is going around claiming that he was murdered by his community boys, a group of them, just because he accidentally knocked someone with his car. The claim is that Lawrence was driving in the streets when upon he accidentally hit someone, and he tried to apologize, but the people nearby did not care. The person he hit picked up a group of boys. He was challenged, beaten, and somewhere along the line they threw him in that borough pit. Now, there's a chance that maybe that was how his body was found, that the boys were first arrested before they took the police or took the people to where the body was thrown. Or maybe somehow, some way, when his family were looking for him, they were able to find out that, yeah, they saw these boys throwing him into the pit. But the fight that happened between Lawrence and the people who allegedly or most likely killed him was somewhat public. So a group of people saw the fight happen, but they did not know the extent in which it went. It's unclear if they did it in broad daylight, because if they did, many people would have seen it. However, now that the story is out, 2 people they say have been arrested in connection to his murder, while a lot more people are expressing their dissatisfaction as to why these people would kill him. Some people don't even believe it's because he accidentally knocked someone with his car, which, by the way, the person he knocked with his car did not die. The person did not get killed. The person was just, it's unclear what had happened to the person, but it seemed as though it was the same person who he accidentally hit with his car that pretty much ganged up on him to get beaten and get killed, which clearly shows that the person was fine enough to do that. Many people express that this could be as a result of jealousy and as a result of hate, and maybe as a result of probably robbery too, because if he knocked someone with his car and they beat him and threw him there, where is the car? Did the people take the car along? Did they take more than just his life? Did they take his phone? Did they take his money from his account? Those are things that will be looked into during investigation, because if for some reason these people who are suspected of beating him and throwing him into that borough pit are found with any of his properties, are found with either his phone, clothes, if money was withdrawn from his account, if they also probably try to extort from his family, depending on the activities that they would do after beating and killing this young man, that would kind of sway this situation into more than just because he hit you with his car. It will now become a case of robbery. It will become a case of setup. It will become a case of kidnapping, depending on what is discovered during this investigation. And personally, I don't believe they beat him and just threw him there because he knocked someone with his car. That is not true. I feel like that is a lie. I feel like that is what they are saying. And I feel like if the police do their investigation, they will find out that these people who beat and threw him there most likely tried to extort from him too. There is that possibility. There's every possibility that that could have been the case. Because just because someone knocks someone with a car, I don't know, it does not warrant you to. It's not as if he knocked someone dead and tried to run. They said he did it and tried to explain himself, but they did not want to hear. And the people in Agbo, because they said this is how, I don't know, someone mentioned that this is the behavior of the people in Agbo. And I'm surprised that is the thing that people do in Agbo, that if you knock someone with your car accidentally, they will beat you up rather than, find a way to fix it or find a way for you to pay. They will just beat you up. And if that is how people behave in Agbo, then it's really disappointing and embarrassing. But I don't believe that that is how it is in Agbo. I don't believe so, because if that is the case, we would see and hear so many of such instances. Personally, I think this young man was targeted because he has just returned from abroad and they really wanted something from him, and probably because he did not want to drop, or he was probably standing up for himself, because these people, they don't want to be taken or seen as a punk because they have lived abroad all their life, and he most likely got outnumbered or did not see what was coming to him. But another question I also wanted to know is, where were his friends? Where were his people? I don't believe, because we're also hearing that he has just been in Nigeria for 4 days, barely 4 days or 5 days before this happened. So was he just driving all by himself? Where was his siblings? I would believe if you're coming to see your family in Nigeria or Africa, you'd always have time to be with your people, especially when you've not been here for nearly 11 years. There is no reason why you've not been in Nigeria for nearly 11 years and you are moving around by yourself. So where is his friends? Where is his relatives? Who was with him the whole time when this happened? I still wouldn't be surprised if part of the people who were involved in this could be somebody close to him. So it's really unfortunate. We'll just have to wait for the investigation to finish. This is just what people are saying. This is what is going around. And if that is the case, then it's really sad. Stories like this are the reason why when people travel abroad, they don't want to come back.